We often see these little flashes of wonder with light, don't we? Like a rainbow after it rains, or maybe a crystal catching the sun just right. It makes you think, could there be something more to it, something deeper, maybe even practical, hidden in plain sight? Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're doing a deep dive into prisms. Now, most of us probably remember them from, science class, splitting light into colors.
Right, the classic experiment.
Exactly. But it turns out their real use goes way beyond just looking pretty. So our mission today is twofold. First, let's really understand the science behind that magic rainbow effect. And second, let's uncover their, frankly, surprising and vital role in helping people with really complex vision problems.
And yeah, just to give some context, our discussion draws quite a bit from some excellent educational material, specifically from optometrist Paul Joseph. He's also known as Rakesh, who founded the Optician Academy. His whole aim is about sharing solid knowledge, pushing for ethical dispensing in optics, and really helping everyone understand these aspects of vision science better, which fits perfectly with what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely. So to really get a handle on this, we need to start with the absolute basics. What is a prism, fundamentally?
Okay, yeah. So at its core, a prism is basically a solid, transparent object. Think glass or plastic. It's got flat, polished sides, and it's three-dimensional. Often you picture the one that's triangular at the ends, right? Like a wedge shape.
Right, the classic triangle shape. Okay, So let's talk about that rainbow effect. We all know prisms make rainbows, kind of like the ones we see in the sky. But what's actually physically happening when light goes into that piece of glass?
Well, it's all about something called refraction. That's just the bending of light when it moves from one thing to another, like from air into glass.
Okay, refraction, like a straw looking bent in a glass of water.
Exactly like that. Now, here's the cool part. White sunlight isn't actually white. It's made up of all the colors of the rainbow packed together. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, ROY, remember?
Yep, got it.
So when that white light hits the prism, each of those colors, those different wavelengths, bends at a slightly different angle as it goes through the glass. Red light bends the least, violet light bends the most. And that difference in bending angle spreads the colors out so we can see them individually.
Okay, so the prism doesn't have the colors inside it. It's just revealing what's already hidden in the white light itself.
Precisely. It separates them. It makes the invisible visible in a way. It's just showing us a fundamental property of light.
That's fascinating. So this bending and separating of light, it's not just for lab demos, right? Where else does this happen? Like in day-to-day life?
Oh, absolutely. You probably encounter prisms more often than you think. Take binoculars, for example.
Binoculars, really?
Yep. They use prisms inside, usually poro or roof prisms, not just to magnify, but critically to flip the image right side up and correct its orientation left to right. Without them, you'd be looking at everything upside down and backwards.
Huh. I never knew that. Okay, what else? What about those little crystals people sometimes hang in their windows? The ones that throw little rainbows everywhere.
Exactly. Those are acting as prisms, too. The facets on the crystal catch the sunlight, bend it, and split it into those dancing colors. It's the same principle.
Okay, nice.
And maybe the most spectacular example is just looking up after a rain shower.
The rainbow in the sky.
Yeah. Each individual raindrop floating in the air acts like a tiny, tiny natural prism. Millions of them, all refracting and dispersing the sunlight together, create that huge, beautiful arc across the sky.
Wow. So it's the same physics, just scaled up massively from a tiny crystal or a raindrop. That's actually pretty amazing, isn't it?
It really is. Same fundamental process.
Okay, so prisms reveal colors. They help us see things far away in binoculars. But what if this simple light-bending trick could do something even more profound? Something that helps fix vision problems that affect millions but are often kind of hidden.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Indeed it does, because that same elegant principle of light bending, the one that gives us rainbows, becomes this incredibly sophisticated tool in vision care. We're talking about prisms being put into spectacle lenses. And these aren't your standard lenses for fixing, nearsightedness or farsightedness.
Right, those are about focusing light correctly onto the retina.
Exactly. Prism lenses are different. Their main job is to correct problems with eye alignment. Specifically, they're used for people who experience double vision, which is technically called diplopia.
Double vision. Okay, so how does a prism in a lens help with seeing two of everything? Right, so the core idea is that the prism redirects the light before it even enters the eye. Normally, your eyes work together perfectly as a team, right? They both point at the same spot. Light comes in and hits the same corresponding points on the retina in each eye. The brain gets two identical signals and fuses them into one clear 3D image.
Okay, teamwork. Makes sense.
But if your eyes are misaligned, maybe one turns in or out or up or down slightly, they send conflicting images to the brain. Light hits different spots on the retinas. The brain can't fuse them properly, and boom, you see double.
That sounds incredibly disorienting.
It really can be. So a prism lens is designed very specifically. It's essentially a wedge. It's thicker on one edge, which we call the base, and thinner on the opposite edge. And light always bends towards the thicker base of a prism.
Towards the base. Got it.
So the eye doctor figures out exactly how the eye is misaligned and then orients the prism's base in the glasses. Could be base up, base down, base in towards the nose, or base out towards the ear. This precisely redirects the incoming light, shifting the image so it lands on the correct spot on the retina of the misaligned eye.
So it's basically tricking the brain, making the light land where it should land if the eyes were aligned.
That's a great way to put it. It tricks the brain into perceiving a single clear image. And a huge side benefit is that it relieves the massive eye strain and often the headaches that come from the eye muscles constantly fighting.